Hello, I'm Francine from the Family Matters Documentation Services. Today, I'd like to discuss with you the subject of beneficiaries. You know, as we make decisions regarding who we want to inherit our assets when we do transition out of this life, selecting a beneficiary now and think about who you would want to transfer your assets and your estate benefits is very important. A beneficiary is the person who benefits from the monetary assets that you have transferred to them. And normally, when we speak about beneficiary, we think about insurances, who will benefit from the insurance policy that we have established and paid for during our life, and who you want that income to be transferred over to. So, keeping that in mind, let's think about who would be the beneficiary of an insurance policy. Oftentimes, I have found in assisting clients and speaking with them, when I ask them of their most recent life occurrences, such as the death of a family member who was on their beneficiary policy, whether it be a mother, father, wife, or husband, and some time has gone past of those persons transitioning, I have found that those persons often tell me they have not changed the beneficiary designate. And so I'm asking you today to think about that. Think about what life occurrences have recently transpired for you in your life and in your families, even, that it may be time to change your beneficiary selection. And it's easy when you have your insurance policy to contact the insurance company and to ask for a change of beneficiary. Other times when you may want to consider changing the beneficiary for an insurance policy would be if you divorced someone and you now want to take that beneficiary policy and update it and make an updated selection of who now you would want to be the beneficiary. Most importantly is to think of currently what in your life has happened that will dictate for you to make any changes if necessary. Oftentimes, I have also found that persons who have decided that they want to change the beneficiary because the person who was currently the beneficiary no longer is applicable. Maybe there's been some changes between those two persons in your life, you and them, that you find that you now want to make a updated selection and select someone else. Another reason to contact your insurance company and ask for a change of beneficiary. Other beneficiary changes that you may not have thought about that I think that you should consider would be if you have an established trust. Oftentimes people will create a trust for various reasons, and they may need to consider who they would want to be the beneficiary and select the beneficiary in that case as well. I'd also want you to know today, if you had not considered it, when you are making decisions around putting together your will, that in a will, there is no designate for beneficiary. The language in a will, when you are transferring your assets, would be in that estate specific assets that you want to go to any one person and who's going to benefit from those assets that you are leaving for them. That designated person who you consider to be the executor of the estate, if it's a man, or the executrix of your estate, if it's a female. There are specific bequeathments where you bequeath assets, where you bequeath, whether it be cash or real property, that you want specifically to go to persons. In that will, that documentation would specifically say what you would want the executor to ensure that they get. And so that's not a beneficiary, although they are benefiting from what you are leaving them. So today I'm asking you to think about who is going to be the beneficiary. If you need to make changes in beneficiary, to reach out to the appropriate persons and company under your insurance policies to get that done, and to be clear about the fact that the executrix, if it's a female of your estate that handles all of the transference of what needs to happen, executor, as I said, will be the male. They are not the beneficiary. They are actually carrying out your directive, and they are the administrator to get that done. And so speak with them if you haven't. Write it down and make that plain, because it will make it so much easier for everyone concerned to understand what you want to happen to your estate, and know the difference between the beneficiaries that you have identified and the bequeathing of assets to individuals under any other directive that you have in place. Again, my name is Francine from the Family Matters Documentation Services. I would ask that you go to my website at familymatters.com, as we will be doing workshops and doing specific documentation classes to show you exactly how to get it done. I thank you. I ask that you will share this with your family members and your friends, and ask them. If you know that recently a family member has had death in their family and they may be assisting their loved one to update their records, please encourage them to update their beneficiary, so that in the time when it is needed, then that transference of assets that they want to go to them can be done smoothly without any delay. I thank you, and I hope that you will get it done.